sitting in between these two gentlemen who they will introduce themselves. Starting with you.
Hello everyone. The face looks familiar to some, but to some it doesn't.
Yeah.
My name is Lotisang, but you can simply call me David, since a lot of people don't know how to announce it. It's Lotisang, but you can simply call me David. Then my surname is Mhlabi, so yeah, that's me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi guys, my name is Chala, it's Chala Dex, Instagram, follow. I'm the ghost in the room, seeing that the people to my right are celebrities. But yeah, and thanks for hosting us, man.
Okay, it's a pleasure. So, as you know, guys, so if you have been following this YouTube channel, if you have been watching, but you know the song, so I don't think I have to repeat that. Surely, watching this video, you have already subscribed. So, the past videos we have been talking about mental health in general, and therefore I felt that it was important that we now go to talk about mental health, looking at the male spaces or looking on how male handle everything. So I'm sitting with these two gentlemen, like I said, so each one of them will tell their story and then we'll take it from there. Stay tuned. Starting from this side.
Okay, my journey with mental health is one that confused me as well, because growing up, I'm plus 25 years in terms of age. So from a young age, there were certain things that I saw in myself, like sweaty palms. People who know me knew, like, I was the guy with the crazy veins. My heartbeat was always going crazy. And I always had these small triggers, such as, I always did public speaking, but it always scared me. And it's not just like a simple panic.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Hectic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I always made sure like I was always the first in class to present, so I'm just done, I'm
Yeah.
done. They thought I was the brave one. But
Yeah.
in my mind I'm like,
They don't know. Yeah.
yeah. And I didn't really know much about it. There were just things that would happen, and I tell my family about certain things, especially my mom.
Yeah.
And because back then mental health wasn't a thing, it's one of those, just get over it.
Yeah.
Just practice. It's just the notion fine. Yeah, put some hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's one of those things where I didn't really understand it until mental health started being I want to say popular, but a spoken about issue from like 2012, 2013 when I started varsity.
Yeah.
And the signs were mild. Everything was mild until 2014.
Yeah.
Second year mid school, I just went through a lot.
Yeah.
Mid school gave me anxiety, like full blown anxiety.
Yeah.
And shortly after that started taking place, you get to a point where it's a practical, you ask the question, you know the answer in your head, but you can't say it.
You can't say it.
You're there, like, I know this.
I know this.
But yeah.
It's blank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, your mid school put me through a lot. But yeah. And towards the end of the year, my mom passed away, and that brought about a short stint of depression.
Yeah.
I'd like to think I know it. I don't know. I'm scared to go to a doctor about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2015, my anxiety got worse. I went through a depressive phase. And it's from 2017 that I actually started being open about my anxiety and opened an Instagram account. I'm not using it anymore. It's just I just opened it, posted about my mental health journey, my almost suicide attempt and everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, it received some positive reviews, but I reached a point where I got overwhelmed and I'm like, okay, I have to take a break from that.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that this is the start of me coming back into the light and saying, okay guys,
Yeah.
But yeah, so to date, I still think my depression is still asleep. I try to avoid the triggers.
Yeah.
But my anxiety triggers, however, are a bit different.
Yeah.
They're still as relevant as ever.
Yeah,
But I've learned how to deal better with them.
with them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's more or less my journey, like roughly. Yeah.
Okay. And then before just going to David, you know what? I always tell people that emotions are like waves. Before you know that the second wave is coming, you know, it's already there. So, and then the waves differs, you know, the amplitude and whatsoever. So others are strong than others. So I'm really hoping that, I don't know, you will consider, you know, being clinically assessed and all that, because you must be sure that, you know what, I've got this under control, and speak to relevant people and try to work on it.
One of these days.
Yeah.
One of these days.
No. Alright. Then to you, David.
Eish.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, looking back at my journey,
Yeah.
how I ended up, maybe, let me say, being diagnosed depression and all these mania diseases.
Yeah.
I think it started when I was in high school, but basically it was diagnosed in 2019. Because I can say I had friends in high school, but I can say I had no friends in high school. It's something you see, I was always alone, always, they know at home, I'm always in my room, always, I don't want anyone, I don't talk about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that, you see.
Yeah.
Then the time I was told that no, when you are depressed, you are not you're not okay mentally.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's fine, it's okay. And at that moment, I was going through a very, very, very rough phase of my life. It wasn't, I don't know, like, it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
But then, I had to deal with it. I had to accept it. It didn't make me less of a, let me say, of a man. Because a lot of people will say, man doesn't cry.
Yeah.
You know, a man is a sheep. That's what somebody told me in the past few weeks. Man must be a sheep. That's it. No, that's not okay.
Yeah.
It's not. If you are feeling like you're not okay,
No.
speak about it.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Cry
Find
about
some.
it.
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm crying about it, but then
Yeah.
cry. It helps. It's okay to cry
Yeah.
when you're not okay. You see, something like that. After accepting that I'm this person I am,
Yeah.
I'm not okay mentally. It's fine. I'm not okay mentally. How am I going to deal with this? You know, growing up in villages, no one knows these things.
Yeah.
You speak about depression, everyone's like, oh no, this one,
Yeah.
headache. You see,
Yeah.
just drink grandpa and sleep.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens. You just drink the grandpa, you sleep, you wake up, no mom, I'm feeling better. Yes, you're feeling better. That's it.
Yeah.
But then they never notice that he's going through depression. And I remember when I was writing my matric,
Yeah.
my final exams, they organized the social workers for me. But even though they didn't arrive, but it was okay because I was a bit confused. I don't know, but I was anxious. I don't know a lie.
Yeah.
But then it passed, and on 2019, going through that journey, you see, as I said to you, accepting that I have some mental problems and everything wasn't easy. But then, a bit by bit, and I didn't talk to anyone. I don't know how to lie, good people. I didn't talk to anyone. I talked to myself because who was going to understand me?
Yeah.
As I said to you, in high school, I had no friends, but I had friends. You see.
Yeah.
Who was going to understand?
No one.
No one. So I had to deal with myself. A brother wasn't going to understand, as I told you, that we grew up in villages where you drink grandpa and sleep. That's
Yeah.
all. A sister wasn't going to understand. I mean, I don't know why I have trust issues.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. I have trust issues, so I just don't talk about
You
things.
just couldn't tell anyone
Yeah.
the story.
But what I'm gonna say is that it's possible
Yeah.
to run away from it.
Yeah.
It's possible. You know, they usually say, if you put it in your mind, you can do it.
Yeah.
So, if you don't put it in your mind, you
Yeah.
can't do it.
Yeah.
Same applies to depression.
Yeah.
If you allow yourself to overthink things,
Yeah.
then that means you'll fall into depression. But if you don't allow yourself to overthink things,
Yeah.
that means you won't fall into depression. So it's easy. Yes, I couldn't, but you can.
Yeah.
Believe me when I say you could, I couldn't, but you
Yeah.
can. It's because I said that I could avoid it, but
Yeah.
then here I am. I couldn't,
Did
but
you
I
catch
survived
up?
it. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's possible. There's nothing that is impossible, good people.
Yeah.
There's nothing that is impossible. It's possible, but then the fact that I couldn't doesn't
Yeah.
mean you can't.
Yeah. I just hope this whole what can I call it? I just hope everyone or all the parents is either whoever stays in the rural or urban area can understand mental illness. Because even if now you go to Twitter and then they're talking about mental illness or they're talking about what parents say to their kids about mental illness, it's hectic. Being judged about what you grow up having. So what I always tell people is depression or any mental illness, it doesn't care where you come from. It doesn't care if you have both parents. It doesn't care the skin color whatsoever, the race. But if it wants you, it wants you. And then it's now about how you deal with it. So I just want to know, Sishaba, if you kind of felt during the whole process or even now, did the whole process make you feel a less of a man? Or now talking about the norms that the society have, that if you are a man, you have to behave this certain way. You don't have to cry, you have to keep everything together, hold it like a man,
From my end,
Yeah.
it's more like what David said, that it's not easy to talk about it as a man because firstly you don't understand what you're going through.
Yeah.
And then secondly, you ask yourself, who can I talk to who will even understand what I'm trying to say to them?
Yeah.
I had a teacher who I spoke to in high school about this, and they just told me that it's because I'm lazy. No, she told me I'm lazy. Yeah, I explained my problem, so she's like, no, the problem is you're lazy, you're not focused,
Yeah.
and you need to pay more attention to your books, and these things will be fine. Because I had a small issue that year.
Yeah.
So I could link it that, no man, this is not me.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm better than this, but
Yeah.
I'm going through 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So I went to talk to her, she's like, no, it's just that, you're a bit lazy, man, eh?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what does that have to do with anything?
Yeah.
They just blow everything out of proportion.
Yeah.
And that's how you realize that people don't really understand these things.
Yeah.
So from my end, it wasn't more rather me coming out and I felt, okay, I'm less of a man.
Yeah.
It's the symptoms that I exhibited because of my mental health.
Yeah.
And people around you look at you different. I wasn't planning on talking about this, but I also have like a mild case of OCD.
Yeah.
So I have to, I look at things in patterns, I do things in patterns.
Yeah.
Certain things have to sit a certain way. And
Yeah. People don't get it.
yeah, they look at you organizing things and they're just like, people, we're not busy to clean up. What's wrong with you?
At this time.
Yeah, and even like in my room, I can't stand if it's not a certain way. And I remember one was making mine is like, when the way you're always cleaning, one would think you're a girl.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything? Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's also one of those, because of the symptoms you exhibit,
Yeah.
you listen to the voices, you let the fear talk to you, and
Yeah.
you stop yourself from doing certain things. And you get told that, we're not kind of a man, or you can't do 1, 2, 3. And you're trying to explain, it's not that I can't do it.
Yeah. I know, I just hope this whole thing could stop, because whatever a man fails to do, you're being compared to a woman.
Exactly.
If you're not being compared to a woman, then
As a
you're
woman,
being
are
leveled.
weaker. That's the problem.
I said in a few days, I was thinking that
Yeah.
people are always believed that being a man is about being strong.
Yeah.
But I was wrong.
Yeah, it is a lie. It's a lie.
If you think being a man is about being strong, handling each and every situation, overcoming everything, you are totally thinking wrong. Because the moment you think being a man is about that,
Yeah.
is the moment you expect everyone to be like that. When someone comes to talk to me about something, I expect them to. I just say, no, No, it's going to be okay. You just have to stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
And it's wrong
Yeah.
because that's what I do. If it works for me, doesn't mean it will work for you. You see? So I said, yeah. So many people say, be a man, man up. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm manning up, I'm facing everything. I will expect someone from the outside world to do the same thing, which is toxic, which is wrong, which is selfish.
Because I feel like it's the same thing I spoke to you about, that every time I face with challenge, or now I'm having more like fatigue or anxieties, and then when you talk about it, I'm like, you know what, Obatwadi, for example, there's a lot of people dealing with a lot of things. Like, people tend to weigh situations, which is very wrong. And I tell people that, you know what, it's either small or big, deal with your emotions. They stole your sneakers, cry about it. You don't have now to think, you know what, how about I have other sneakers? No. If it did hurt your feelings, go through it. Because now we tend to, you know what, Mara, I'm fortunate enough, me, not this, that one,
It actually goes back
Put
to
yourself first. It goes back to you putting yourself first, because we forget about putting ourselves first. So, yeah, there's that. There's that.
And with the symptoms I was talking about,
Yeah.
for example, one of the symptoms of either anxiety or depression is that you sleep more than you should.
Yeah.
It's not that you want to sleep, it's not that you're tired.
But you wanna
You just feel like
ignore,
you'll fix everything.
away. Yeah.
And in society, generally, that's seen as a sign of,
Laziness.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're not serious about life.
Yeah.
And you be compared to other people, you know, back in the day, around this time, men were doing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Where, not because you guys are privileged.
Yeah.
I'm not saying my mom did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's one of those things that we exhibit certain symptoms and people don't really try to figure out the source.
Yeah.
They just see what you're doing and they try to say, but what kind of a man are you who's not doing 1, 2, 3?
You see, like.
And it's okay to be different from other people. It's okay to be unique. It's okay. It's okay. Even if I'm a male, it's okay. It's okay for me to be unique from the other male.
Yeah.
Even if you're a female, it's okay to be unique from the other female. I want to. If he can dance, that doesn't mean I have to dance. If he plays soccer, that's what he chose to do, to play soccer. If I can dance, then let me go and dance with the ladies. It's okay to be different. The fact that you associate yourself with people of different sexuality doesn't make you less of that gender. You see, if you choose to associate yourself with males, that doesn't change anything about your gender of being a female.
Yeah.
You're still welcome that way. People don't expect other people to do what you do. Don't expect other people to fit where you are fitting.
Yeah.
They fit where they fit. They are where they want to be. Accept it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because I feel like now the other problem with people is being judgmental.
Yeah.
And I always tell people that if now people start attacking you, they honestly want to be where you are. Or like they like your confidence. It's just like sometimes it's not easy to more like now letting go of my ego. David, how do you do this? You know. So some people just decide, well, you know what, we're gonna break this confidence. You know, like they will try to test you to actually see if you're confident enough to be where you are or continuing what you're doing. So it's honestly painful that every day when you walk in, you have to look at the background. You have to behave a certain way now, because now if I do this, but I'm trying to be a male. If I do this now, I'm a woman. You see, so it's always like, and sometimes you can't even ask Rimara, how do you think? Sometimes it's just it's not worth it. You just want to let it slide. But I feel like sometimes these are things that we have to more like attend to.
Yeah.
Try to talk about. We don't have to fight, but try to listen to the person. Alright, okay, what's your point? Why are you saying this? Why do you think like that? So I think there's something that can help us to change people's mindset to but now I see it like that. You see?
I think as men as well, we need to learn how to open up.
Yeah.
Because, for example, while I was still studying medicine,
Yeah.
I stayed in a residence.
Yeah.
It was guys only. And across the road, it was a female residence.
Yeah.
Most of them were mostly medical students as well. So, in my residence, I had a lot of friends that side.
Yeah.
So, both my race and the other race, I like knew a lot of people.
Yeah.
In my race, it was spoken of that if you're going through something, talk. If this is happening, talk.
Yeah.
But in practice, as men, you
Yeah.
die alone.
Yeah.
You go through the most, you lock yourself in your room, you're like, why are you not getting this?
Yeah.
Why are you not doing 1, 2, 3? Why can't you step up like mama and mama?
Yeah.
And you come outside and you meet your guy friends again, you're like, James, inside. From my individual interactions with them, I
Yeah.
came to realize that a lot of us were actually going through the same thing.
Yeah.
But a lot of us were scared to just stand out and say, James, Safari. My friends were actually surprised when they found out all that was happening in my life, when they
Yeah.
found out my grades were dipping, when they found out I was not okay at all.
Yeah.
And that's because I never told anyone, not even my best friend knew. He
Yeah.
found out like way later.
Yeah.
And when like with each conversation we had, it was James. So all along we were just
Pretending.
yeah, and then you find like across the road.
Yeah.
Already medicine is a field where people don't easily admit that they're going through the most. We all want to seem smart, we all want to seem like we have it under control.
Yeah.
But with the women,
Yeah.
with the female race, it was a bit better because in the small communities that I got to notice, those are the people who actually knew what I was going through.
Yeah.
Those are the people who actually spoke about it together, like, yo, guys,
Yeah.
I'm going through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They
Yeah.
spoke.
They spoke.
I don't know why with guys we allow ourselves to take this pride set upon us by society that
Yeah.
we need to be strong, we need
Yeah.
to have it under control, we need to figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
because I think now even just being strong, and I feel like now not even being strong for yourself. Now you have to think I have to be strong for mama. I have to be strong for daddy. I'm an example, and you don't want. You feel like whatever you're gonna tell your friends is also gonna affect them. So like you choosing other people before you. So that's why I'm like, you see, I feel like where the problem is starting is you putting other people first. Because now what you're thinking about is like, there's someone going through something more than me. And then now you're suppressing your emotions. So it's better, let me wear a smile. It's okay to wear your smile,
Yeah.
but talk about what you're going through. Because I'm telling you, this is mostly what I do. Even if I'm going through something, I'll try to more like, you know what, have that smile on, that mask on, try to talk to other people, touch their lives, because I just feel like, you know what,
You also feel like the more you're there for them, the better you get.
yeah,
You're helping yourself by helping them.
no,
And you forget that at some point you have to stop and at some point.
you have to stop. You have to stop and give everything back to you, to your
Yeah.
community, which is you. You see?
You know what's funny though?
Yeah.
I spent, before 2014, I didn't understand it. I just knew I had certain symptoms.
Yeah.
2014, they all worsened, and that's when I did more research about it. And eventually, I saw a psychologist like end of the year, and
Yeah.
she's the one who confirmed it. Like, it wasn't like a clinical diagnosis, but she's like, okay, you need to go see a
Psychiatrist.
psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Even here, I've actually been to go see help like 3 times since I came here. And each time, first thing they'll ask me is, am I on anxiety meds? Like, why? They're like, well, your blood pressure, your heartbeat.
Yeah.
Like, they tell me about all these things, and I'm like,
And already you know about them. But
Yeah.
It's just like you dodge them every time.
every time my hands are here sweating, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I'm fine. It's just I was running, and I'm scared right now. I never acknowledge it. Why? Don't ask me. It's only once that I was open, like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
with 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And they gave me the meds.
Yeah.
But what surprised me was I spent all this time from 2015 until 2017
Yeah.
thinking that my family would not understand.
Yeah.
Thinking that because I'm a guy, I'm the only son. Okay, I was.
Yeah.
Thinking that at the time I'd be seen as weak if I came out and said, guys, I'm going through 1, 2, 3. No, I don't want to see a doctor. I'm fine, but I'm going through
Yeah.
this. Only to find that my sisters actually understood.
Yeah.
When I was excluded from medicine, I had to go and explain to them that, okay guys, listen, I tried this medicine thing again, and I'm realizing that I'm not happy where I am,
Yeah.
and I gave up along the way, and the marks just tanked,
Yeah.
and I got kicked out. So I'm gonna go to accounting, guys. Yay!
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna breathe down my neck and set me alight, but they were actually quite supportive.
And they understood the situation.
All my sisters understood.
Yeah.
And then I started my blog on Instagram and I started sharing about what I've been going through ever since my mom passed away.
Yeah.
And my sisters actually came out to talk to me and I realized they've actually also went through the same thing. In their own way, they've had their own experiences.
Yeah, they were not able to talk about it.
We did not have that structure because we were all sitting there thinking, actually the stronger one, actually strong for you, actually strong for you. Only to find out that we're all going through the same thing.
Yeah.
And ever since then, we've actually been closer than ever. Like growing up, we've always been best friends.
Yeah.
And then at some point we grew up and we went our own way.
Yeah.
But now we actually came back together and even this morning, I've been on phone calls with all of them this morning. Now we check up on each other regularly because it's now a system.
Yeah.
As compared to back when we all thought,
You know what?
I feel like they're gonna look at me fire. Now we're trying to do Yeah.
You see, so I think like it takes one's courage to break that,
It does. It was not easy.
Because I mean, like, after one talking or this happening, and then now everyone starts crying, or you know what? Even me, you're like, what?
Yeah.
You see, so I just hope everyone can find, the courage to talk about it. It's just sad that there's still families, so there's still people that don't understand this, and then now coming to talk about it, they're asking, why do you sleep with a full stomach? How are you depressed?
Yeah.
You see, I just feel like that can
Bro, let's get Kentucky mobile. What do you want?
So I feel like it must actually change, and I feel like it's about you guys or us talking about these things regularly. That people now, because I feel like people think it's not normal talking about your mental health. People now feel like, but don't share snacks. I think so. I think we're the one who can actually change it.
It's well talked about, but there's still a stigma attached to it all, honestly. There's still
a stigma. Because, this is the same thing that I say, even if now they know about it. How about Shababare? We told life I say what. So, it's always even painful that after dealing with depression itself, I have to deal with my own parents. I have to deal with my siblings. My friends, they make jokes about it. So I always tell people, or sometimes I stood my grounds, I'm like, you don't talk like that.
Yeah.
You don't do that. Because I feel like sometimes we let our friends make fun of all these situations. Or she does this. Just having certain disorders. Now
Yeah.
all those things. And it's honestly painful when it gets to the other person's ears, you know what? Now they have to remind themselves that they're not normal. And they're normal. Unique as they are, they're normal, you see. So I just hope everyone can, be a little humble and kind towards other people.
Guys, it's not funny joking about people's insecurities.
It's not.
In the moment, you think you've been cool, you've been funny, we're all laughing, it's fine.
And then it goes a long way.
Yeah, you don't know when that person leaves. What are you thinking? How are they feeling?
Yeah.
And when someone tries to talk about something, try to listen. Try to listen.
Yeah.
There are few of us in this generation that talk about our insecurities.
Yeah.
Because most of us have trust issues. If I'm like this,
Yeah.
I want to talk about this. Give me an ear.
Yeah.
I want to listen to me, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Maybe the one who's going to help.
Yeah.
You see, don't be like that. No, I don't want to lie. In the past few days, I called one of my. I can say he was my Facebook friend, but then he became my brother when we came to Bloom.
Yeah.
I called him. I was like, it was around 8:00 in the morning. I was like, "Ish, man, there's something I want to talk about, and it's age." And he said, "No, next time we'll talk about because we are still having this and that." And I was like, "Ish, this man." So if someone comes to you or texts you, say, "Ish, I'm not feeling okay. What's wrong?" Even if I'm busy, as for me, if you text me and say, "I'm not okay," even if I'm busy, I stop what I'm doing because I know that the only time you can express the feeling you are feeling right now is this time.
Yeah.
If I say no, let's meet at 8:00, maybe during the evening, maybe you'll be like, "No, I'm okay." You see? at that time you're not okay. It's just that you're not feeling like talking about it right now.
Yeah.
So if someone is like this, I want to talk, listen to them.
Yeah.
And don't joke about it, as said. Don't joke about someone's insecurities.
Because now people go around talking about those things that you spoke about, or week or
Hey.
you see all those things. So I just feel like people can start being there for each other, trying to listen. Because there are even people that you can talk to, and then you're like, you know what, David, can you please talk? And then you're like, yes. And the person just wanna hear the scope. And then after that, they just leave you stranded. When are you waiting for this person maybe to be there for you or to come in with the solution, or you know what, you can do 1, 2, 3. And then they just listen and then that's it. You get it? It's okay to listen.
Yeah.
But please show that empathy towards the person so that they can, like, it can change whatever they're going through at the moment. Because some of people before they become suicidal or attempt anything, they're gonna talk to someone.
Don't just listen for the sake of listening.
Yeah.
But listen for the sake of bringing a change in that situation.
You know what?
Don't just listen. I was there and I was listening. There's someone who's listening. What are you doing about the current situation of that particular person?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Listen in order for you to bring a change in that particular situation. You might not mend the problems, you might not mend what just happened, you might not change the situation, but listen to bring a change in the situation.
Because it's so important bringing hope. Because a lot of people, after people committed suicide, but what did you do? Did you maybe make the person feel better? Like make the person see the light?
Is it right now?
Yeah. Yeah, guys, you don't want to hear about what happened. So we have been shooting this video to find out that it stopped the recording. So I feel like with what we have been talking about, we have just now discovered a new definition of being strong. So for us, being strong is you going out of your comfort zone, speaking about what you're going through, being there for other people regardless of what you're going through, having to stop what you're doing and listening to other people, right? So that's our definition of being strong. So I feel like this mindset of being strong about not giving up, you don't have to force things to prove a point that you're strong. Whatever you feel like, this is not worth it, then you have to stop it, because your mental health first for everything to be able to work out. So I think we're just gonna go on to talk about what? I think now we're just gonna talk about the platforms that are actually open for people to actually talk about these things. I really appreciate you guys, people with organizations, helping our brothers and sisters, basically everyone. I really appreciate it. And there's actually a lot of platforms that you can go to.
Yeah, also guys, we understand that seeing a therapist is expensive, going to the doctor is expensive, getting medication is expensive, and yes, if you can afford it, we're not saying don't go, because these are really helpful. But for those who are going through a lot financially perhaps, or don't even have the courage to get up and say, I'm gonna go book myself an appointment, there's other avenues. For example, growing up, I used to write. I'd write poetry, and that's how I express myself. Whenever something just went sideways, I'd go sit down, take out a pen, just write what I'm feeling. But I always tear it up, because it's not everything that we always want to communicate with other people. Some things we want to express, but we don't want someone giving feedback. We just want to be able to just express ourselves. Yeah, I just want to get it out. So you can write a poem. You can write rap songs. I write lyrics now. I've shifted a bit from poetry.
Yeah,
but apparently my voice doesn't work.
Expecting buzz.
I'm a ghost writer because the voice doesn't allow.
You just have to do what makes you feel okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not all of us we are poets, not all of us we are singers, not all of us we are musicians, not all of us
do what works for you.
Soccer players, but then do what makes you feel okay, Do what makes you feel okay. I think I've touched the part of being away from reaching the help of a psychologist about professional and everything. But then, if when our own things ain't working the way you want them to, things ain't going the way you have planned them to, things are falling apart actually. Try to talk to someone who's next to you. Try to talk to someone whom you think you can trust. But yeah, whom you think you can trust. Lately, there is no one to trust because people speak about our problems to other people. If I talk to them, it is gonna take it's a what do they call in economics? It's a circular flow. It's a circulation in life science. So it's like that. It's okay. You can still heal from that, but then find someone to talk to.
Yeah.
You may not reach a psychologist, a therapist, or whoever you want to reach, who's the professional, who's well known, but Dr. Jakes and everything, or Pastor Jakes, you cannot reach them. But then it might happen that your psychologist is the person who's sitting next to you. Your psychologist is the person you are playing soccer with each and every day. Your psychologist is the teacher who comes in your class, in and out, in each and every. Try to talk to someone about it. Try to voice it out.
You can even be your own psychologist.
Yes.
Sit in front of the mirror. Talk to yourself. Tell yourself.
That's what I did. That's what I did this evening. That's what I did this afternoon. That's what I did. I don't want to lie. I looked at myself into a mirror. Each and every moment I go for presentation, I look myself into the mirror. Let me give it myself. Let me give it a shot. I'm gonna do it. So you can be your own therapist, and especially the introverts, because being an introvert is something that is, I don't know how to call it, but it's something different, something that cannot be understood by anyone. You know, each and every day we are told that, as Ndipo said, leave your comfort zone, but it's not that easy.
Yeah.
You can do it, but then it's not that easy. And please, to someone who forces an introvert to leave his or her comfort, don't do that. You are being oppressive, because you will never hear someone saying to an extrovert, leave your comfort zone. You see, it's something, it's some kind of thing oppressive. Because there is some poem I wrote that we are daily told that we should leave our comfort zones, while extroverts ain't told anything. Stop being oppressive to us. You see, I must understand people the way they are. And as introverts, we say the opposite of what we actually wanted to say. We can't speak out our voice, but if you are an introvert, try your best to talk out your feelings. Try your best to voice out what is in you inside. So it's like that.
And I feel that even now talking about introvert and extrovert, it's kind of easy as an extrovert to be an introvert for a day or two. But now if you're an introvert, just even going for 10 minutes,
Hey, but for some people, for some extroverts, because for some, they can adapt to being introverts.
I mean, like if you're having a bad day, then now you can be at that space of now wanting your own peace. But now being an introvert, being used to that peace of mind, and then there's that one like you can't even cope. You're like, how'd you do this, bro? Like you can't cope, you see. So I feel like also people have to be considerate, because I feel like now we always oppress people, like you say, now telling people that, hey, gaslighting things. I want to even overthink, bro. Like, it's gonna pass, bro. Like, you see, so we always do that. Like this one just hate people. God, it's not even that. It's not that they hate you, but that peace of mind, that sanity that comes with them having to sit in silence. But some people see it wrong for someone to just sit in silence. There must be some drums playing, some music playing, and then that's okay for you, but just respect other people in the process of doing that. So just before we conclude, I think now the technology just disappointed us, but what I'm gonna leave you with, this is our writer, the author of Uphuma Kwelang.
When the sun rises.
So you know what, the message that we leaving you with, guys, is just, you know what, let the sun rise at that side.
Actually the sun will rise. When the sun rises, you're gonna feel like nothing happened, because the sun has risen. You see everything, you see the direction. When the sun rises, everything is gonna be okay. Everything is gonna be okay.
Maybe just give us few lines. I don't know. Will that be possible? Yes, closer.
Okay,
Yeah.
no. Okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
I have a poem either Upuma Bulan when
Yeah.
the sun rises. That's the
Yeah.
title of the first poem.
Yeah.
Upuma Bulan.
Yeah.
But that means the wounds shall heal.
Yeah.
Even the kings shall bow to me. Because at that moment when the sun rises, but this person, unanali something about that Mara, he couldn't because of some circumstances. Villages, growing up in villages, we are really disadvantaged. There are people who can lead, but they are not leading. Coming to that line, even the kings shall bow. I'm not given that opportunity, but when the sun rises, even the kings that are in the thrones shall come down.
Yeah.
When the sun rises, I can just end up like that.
The details we will follow that. So Puma Belanga. If you honestly want the shine, the sun to rise, definitely you will have to read this book. Get some chips, get some juices, spices, and know how to, more like manipulate the
And
process.
us who do backdoor affairs, if you
Yeah.
want the free PDF copy, find me on Instagram, DM, I'll forward.
Oh no, why? Okay, I guess that's it from us, guys. You know what? I hope this will actually help a brother. This will actually help a sister, for you to actually acknowledge what you've been through and know that you're not less of a woman, you're not less of a man. You know what? This had to happen to you to be who you are. Some of the things we don't deserve them, but things happen for a reason. Until next time, and thanks to these gentlemen for joining us today, because we're here because of them.
Your mentality matters.
First, second or first?
Your mentality comes first, but then your mentality matters.
Yeah.
You get it? Your mentality
You
comes
get it.
first. Yeah, your mentality matters.
Okay. So it's not about
Oh, shaky, now I feel icky. Now
Yeah.
I'm here with you. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Isn't it a bar?
Man is dropping lines. He's dropping lines.
dropping lines.
Okay.
So guys, that's definitely from us, guys. You know what? It's not just about looking after your physical health, but also your emotional health. And I feel like at this moment, I think there's greater dynamics, right? Because we forget things. Your mental health is more important than your physical health. But when looked after, both of them, mental and physical, then you're abused. Everything functions. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.